Ladies and gentlemen, live from Madison Square Garden, it's the New York Mets End of Season Awards. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. What a night it is. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to episode 97 of the New York Mets. And, of course, we begin with the 2025 End of Season Awards. Now, this is obviously not where any of us want to be right now with the playoffs still ongoing. But I think ultimately we have to acknowledge that the Braves were just that little bit better than us this year. They beat us by one game in the regular season. In 3 of the 4 games of the playoffs, they beat us by 1 run. It's frustrating. We don't like the Braves. Flaming bags of dog poo have been sent to the Atlanta Braves front office. So rest assured they will not be getting away with this scot-free. But it's been a decent season. I think the players deserve a big round of applause before we get on with the awards for the evening. So well done, boys. We'll get better. We'll beat them next year. Alright, now let's get to these awards. The first one is, of course, most wins by a pitcher. Now, back in spring training, if you'd given me 5 guesses who was going to win this award tonight, I would not have guessed this man. He had 15 wins. It was among the best in Major League Baseball. He's out of our bullpen. The winner is Brian Eichhorn. The next award is for the highest batting average. Now, if you had given me 1 guess in spring training as to who was going to win this award, I think I would have nailed it. We really missed him in the postseason with a batting average of 272. Get hobbling up here, mate. It's Bernhard Morlock. The next award is the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the player hit by most pitchers this season. And it's a really good tally. And we have a very fine tradition in this category. But with 12 times hit by the baseball, it was his first season at the club. It was his first season in Major League Baseball. The winner is Legend. Next up, it's the Golden Anchor, the Willie Ramos Tribute Trophy, awarded to the player who drags us down, having hit into the most double plays this year. And this season, it's a new boy with a very impressive record of 25 double plays hit into. It's Eloy Jimenez. Next up, it's the Golden Boot, awarded to the pitcher who has issued the most walks through the season. And this year, with an impressive total of 56 walks issued. He's out of the bullpen. He's Bobby Nichols. The next award are the Golden Glasses, awarded to the man who has struck out most times at the plate this season. And this year, it goes to a familiar name from this evening. I don't know why we bother with him. He hits into double plays with 158 strikeouts. It's Eloy Jimenez. And the next award is the Golden K, awarded to the pitcher with the most strikeouts. And this has typically been the Noah Syndergaard Award since we've joined the club. But not this year. You were bad this year, Noah. Bordering on rubbish, I'd go as far as to say. Pick yourself up next year or you will not be a Met. Honestly, pick yourself up, mate. You're terrible. But this year, picking up the crown with 208 strikeouts, the Golden K goes to Anderson Espinoza. The next award is the Golden Broom, awarded to the man who sweeps clean the bases, the man with the most RBIs. And this season, with 77 RBIs, it's Legend! And now it's time to reward the pitcher with the best ERA. And again, we've seen Noah Syndergaard and Willie Diaz be I think the only winners of this award in the past, but that changes this year with an ERA of 1.82. The winner is Brian Garcia. And now it's time to recognize the man with the most home runs this season for the New York Mets. And again, it's a face we've already seen on the stage several times this evening with 30 home runs. It's Legend by name, it's Legend by nature. Get up here, mate. Well done. And the next award is the Horse's Ass, awarded to this season's worst player. Now, in hindsight, looking back, I can only assume this guy was gunning for this trophy all season long. To be fair, it's probably the only award he's eligible for that he hasn't won yet. So I think we do need to give him a big congratulations. He's gone from hero to zero, from Cy Young to crap. This season, the Horse's Ass is Noah Syndergaard. Yes, mate, you do have to accept the award. Take your medicine, you were shit all year. Alright, so now we get to the good pitchers, and it's time to award this season's Pitcher of the Season. Now, as ever, there is a formula that we use to determine this. So if you want to see that and the scores of the top three, check the description for that. But in third place, it was Brian Garcia. In second place, it was Nolan Hoffman. But the winner, and let me tell you, there was only 2 points between the top three, but the winner this year with a score of 53.02. Well done, Anderson Espinoza. And now it's time for the batters. We award this season's best batter. Now again, there is a formula we use to determine this. That, along with the scores of the top three, are down in the description. But in third spot, it's Seiya Suzuki. In second spot, it's Legend. And less than half a point ahead, the winner with a score of 44.76. Well done, Griff McGear. And now it is time for the big one, the final award of the evening. It's time to award this season's Golden All-Star for the best New York Met. And it was a really, really tough decision this year. We had a squad full of players all pulling their own weight and doing a really, really solid job. But ultimately, there can only be one winner, and I decided it was the man that surprised me the most and that actually carried the team at times this year. So this year's Golden All-Star, well done, Brian Eichhorn. So there we go, that's all the awards handed out for the evening. Congratulations to Brian and the rest of the winners. Let me know what you think in the comments of the Golden All-Star this year. I think he's earned it. 15 wins out of the bullpen, very, very impressive stuff. So thank you to everybody in the auditorium. Thank you for you watching at home. And we will see you again next season at Citi Field. We're going to get those Atlanta Braves next year. We will be divisional champions. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your evening. So there we go, the end of season awards done for another year. And I think Brian Eichhorn, I think he deserved it. He had led the way in wins. We can see here 15 wins, almost twice as many as the next best. Well, not quite twice as many, but a lot more than anybody else in the team. I just think he was really, really good and underrated as well. So there we go. That is the end of season awards. Now we start building towards next season. Now let's have a quick look at where we stand. If we have a look at the minor league system, see what we have coming through in terms of potential. And you can see we've got a few pitchers. No one's really there ready yet. They're probably still a season away, aren't they? Alfredo Enya in Binghamton this year was not great, so it's probably too soon for him. David Lynn again at Binghamton, again not great. So although he did get put up there from the A+ team, what's that? Is that Columbia, I think? And again, just not quite near enough yet. We've got a couple of good youngsters that are a mile off. Zachary Morris, now he is currently at Syracuse. He did okay at Syracuse this year. Could he be a bullpen option for next year? I wonder. I do think bullpen is where we need to strengthen, if I'm honest. What else we got here? Betancourt. We signed him here, international free agent, a little while ago now. He is just starting to come good, I'd say. Probably not for this year, but if he goes up a couple of divisions there, a couple of not in the roster, we could have a decent player there. Nobody else really. Mike Proctor, now we had high hopes for him to potentially come in and play this coming or next season, I guess, not the season we just finished, but next season. He's not done well, really, has he? Played some at Syracuse, some at AAA. He's not really excelled at AAA or AA, to be fair. Good defensive player, good speed on the bases, but he's just not quite coming along as a batter as much as we would have liked. So otherwise, there's not too much here. We've got a couple of AAA options. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything we can rely on coming through the system for next season. If we do go and have a look at the front office and who we are looking as a free agencies for this year, up to the top, we know Jimenez is up for free agency. We would like to keep him. But again, it's a problem. We don't have the money right now. We're going to have to let people go. Trey Cobb is up for this year. We haven't been using him. He's a decent option, but I just don't know. That he's going to be worth keeping either. Villanez is up for free agency. Now, he wants $6 million. I don't know. He's been pretty reliable, though, hasn't he? If we are looking to strengthen the bullpen, do we want to send out one of the better pieces, one of the more reliable pieces of it? That is perhaps the question there, isn't it? So questions about Villeneuve, what we do with him. Zane Collins is up as well. He's, what is he? A relief pitcher? No. So we'll let him go. We're not going to give him a major league contract. So they're the main ones that are out. Luis Gonzalez, again, we're not going to pay him to stay. I don't think we can. He's decent enough, but we're not going to pay him because he'll want to be in the major league team there. So, and the only other one that wants a major league contract is this guy, Luis Eduardo Silverio, a relief pitcher. Again, he was not being good for AAA this year. So we'll sort of send him on his way. So what we'll do now, we'll simulate through to the end of the World Series. We'll see who wins that. There'll be the Major League Baseball awards, and then we'll get to the preseason, or the off-season, I should say, fully underway. So the St. Louis Cardinals win the World Series. They beat Atlanta 4-1, which I've got to say surprises me a little bit, but they were a good team when we played them this year, the Cardinals, weren't they? So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that much in hindsight. And then they obviously went and beat Boston relatively comfortably, I'd say, in the World Series, 4-1. So well done to the St. Louis Cardinals. They are our baseball overlords for this year. But we will now move on, getting together a plan of how to beat them. Now, our end of season goals, team record, the manager, or the owner, I should say, secretly hoped we'd make the playoffs, but didn't expect it. So congratulations on us achieving that. We didn't upgrade at right field. Seiya Suzuki, I thought was going to do the job for us. He certainly was halfway through the year. He really faded off though second half, didn't he? So he's not happy with that. We did increase the attendance, which was good. We did hit the profit numbers that he wanted. So again, that's good. We'll look to spend that money this upcoming year though. Long term, we want to win a championship in the next 3 seasons, or it'll be 2 seasons. We've got to the year 27, so we've got 26 and 27. And then they're happy with us. So next year we want to reach the playoffs, upgrade at right field, improve the stolen bases count, and build it. We have 2 more years basically there to build a team. Now to do that, we have a budget of, it looks like roughly the same team payroll of 230 million. So that just kind of is what it is. And here we go. One for those of you who've been with me for a little while here, Jacob deGrom. Of course, he retired at the end of last year. He is now looking to get elected to Congress. He's in Florida. He's throwing his hat into the ring to go to the U.S. Congress. So congratulations to deGrom if he was indeed to get there. Just remember where you came from, mate. That's all I ask. And there we go. So we have all the fun stuff coming up here. The arbitration period, free agency, and all that sort of fun stuff. We'll come back for those. Okay, but first things first, it's time for the Major League Baseball Awards, and first up it is the Golden Glove Awards, or the Great Glove Awards, whatever it says there, and there are no New York Mets this year in any of the positions, which is a little bit disappointing. Looks like the Cubs had a few players in there, Cardinals, Dodgers, yeah, so it's a bit disappointing, but we don't have anybody in the Golden Gloves. Next up, it is the Reliever of the Year. Eichhorn has got to get this, surely. And would you believe he's not even in the top, whatever that is. Aguirre came in second, which is good for him, but slightly outrageous given how many saves he blew this year. But they must not consider Eichhorn we've got Garcia in third as well, so we've got second and third. But they must not consider Eichhorn a reliever then, because there's absolutely no way that someone with 15 Major League wins out of the bullpen cannot be reliever of the year, in my personal opinion. But what do I know? Relatively nothing. Next up, it's the Platinum Sticks for the batting. And there are no New York Mets with the Platinum Sticks either. There is a very frustrating Moneybags Yelich down there for left field, which is really annoying. But otherwise, yeah, no Mets. It's been very, very quiet on the awards front for Mets. Next up, we have Rookie of the Year, Legend. Surely, surely Legend. Hey, Legend is the Rookie of the Year. It had to be, didn't it? I mean, he's not called Legend for nothing. He won the gong ahead of a couple of others there that we don't know. But there we go. I should really learn his name. But Shibua, I would imagine is the first name there. But he was first year Major League Baseball, an All-Star and Rookie of the Year. Not a bad first-up effort, you've got to say. So there we go. The next award is Manager of the Year. Could our boy get it, Herrera? I don't know. I don't think so, though. So no, it went to the Cardinals manager, which is fair enough. They did win the World Series, but still no gongs for a New York Mets manager. Next up, it is the big one, the Cy Young Award. Syndergaard's going for 3 in a row. It's not happening, is it? So no, it didn't happen. Mike Soroka of the Braves, he got the Cy Young Award. Espinoza came in, what's that, 5th in the voting, it looks like, just behind Tejada. He was so rubbish for us. Why did we get rid of him, name him come good? That really frustrates me. Also in the reckoning was Nolan Hoffman. Syndergaard did manage to get in there. And also Brian Garcia. But still no love for Brian Eichhorn. That is absolutely outrageous. He should be in the top 3. I do not understand that. He did such a good job for us all year and got absolutely no recognition for it whatsoever. There's still the MVP to be awarded out. Maybe you'll get that. I doubt it somehow. Oh, it's Moneybags Yelich gets the MVP award. So that's annoying, and that's kind of just tops off a really disappointing season, doesn't it? We really didn't have anybody even close. Legend came in there, what's that, about 10th or 12th, a little bit lower than that perhaps. Also in the reckoning, or in the conversation, I guess, though not for long, was Nolan Hoffman and Espinoza. It just almost sums up our season, doesn't it? We were good without really ever being outstanding, and we haven't won a single award. We've had a couple of people go. We did win Rookie of the Year, didn't we? But other than that, we haven't won a single award. Yeah, just a frustrating year all up. Well, we're going to put this year behind us now because we're going to have the arbitration hearings, and then the free agency. We'll be back for those. Okay, arbitration hearings have been done. Let's have a look and see what we have to pay out here. Ishmael Aguirre, we offered him 4.6. He got just a slightly more, so that's fine. David Peterson gets 10 million a year for David Peterson. I mean, he gets results, doesn't he? But that seems a lot of money for David Peterson. Okay, well, it's happened now. I'm tempted to, could we trade him at $10 million a year? Let's have a look here. Del Castillo, one of the two catchers at $2 million. That's fine. That's what we offered him, which is good. Brian Garcia, who had a really good year for us last year. We offered him a little bit less than he got, but I'm okay with that. That's not too bad. Keston Hura. Oh, wow, he's only on $850,000 a year. That's good, because he's a decent. He did quite well for us this year at times. Alec Thomas, he's a backup outfielder. $700,000 a year. That's fine for him. Chevron Newton, 4.8. That's fine, because he's probably going to be our starting third baseman this year. Bobby Nichols gets $850,000. That's fine. Espinoza gets $16 million. It's roughly what he's worth, I think, isn't it? Look, actually, that's actually what we offered him, so that's no complaints there. Robert Tyler, decent out of the bullpen, gets $9 million a year. It's a little bit more than we'd like for a bullpen pitcher, I think. Francesco Alvarez gets 3.4. That's fine. We'll take that. Ronnie Mauricio, only on $1.3 million a year. That is absolutely ridiculous, but we'll take it because it's a good ridiculous. Daniel Stefanovic, 4.25. That's fine. We'll pay that for him. He's done a good job starting. And Nolan Hoffman is on $13 million a year right now. Now, I don't know what he was on this year. Is there a way to find out what he was on this past season? He's good. Don't get me wrong. No complaints about it necessarily, but yeah, it does. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Anyway, that's all the arbitration done. Let's see what happens with free agency. Okay, free agency has happened. Now let's have a quick look at the international free agents. I had a quick glance here. There's a couple of Australians, which makes me excited. But no one particularly good, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could get this guy in, depending what he asked for, just as a backup starting pitcher, put him in AAA or something. But the actual options here for us. We do have a French pitcher, Eric Baguette. Let's go with that. He wants $19 million, which is a lot of money, considering I don't know that starting pitching is a particular weakness, but we'll keep an eye on him. We'll add him to the short list and just kind of see what happens with him over the course of free agency. Now, there was not much else down here. There was one or two others that I saw. Another Australian that's quite bad. This guy here, amazing defensive player, really good base runner, just can't bat, and he wants $10 million a year, which is unfortunate for him. You know what? Another one, I might shortlist him and just see if he sort of gets his brain together and realizes that maybe $5 million wouldn't be a bad thing for him. He could be a decent sort of option if we are moving on Morlock, which we might look to do. But this is the guy that I'm looking at here. A Filipino. I didn't know they played baseball in the Philippines, I'll be honest, but look at this. I mean, he's a right fielder, he's a left fielder, but a right fielder as well. Good hitter, good power. Now, I don't know if we can get Jimenez back, because he has left as a free agent. We'll try and get him back, but as a second option, I tell you what, this guy would not be the worst. How much do we have? there's money. The struggle we're going to have is the money for free agents this year. We don't have too much, so it might be a case of letting him go to sign for somebody, and then perhaps needing to look to trade for him. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. That's the international free agents. This last guy was not much, was he? No. And then, of course, we have the Major League Baseball free agents. Now, the first things first, Jimenez, is it possible to get him back? He wants $33 million. So I'm going to say no, because we don't have the money for this year. Next year, we're fine. But we just can't do it this year. So that's going to be a problem. Anyway, the fun begins now. We'll trade, we'll try and sign, and we'll see where it gives us. We'll be back once we have some signings. Hey, Bernhard. Hey, mate. It's Aussie Villain. How you doing? Good, mate. Good. Injuries going okay? You're fit as a fiddle. Love to hear it, mate. Love to hear it. Now, listen, I was thinking, I know that you love it here in New York, and I'll be honest, mate, New York loves you back. But since you've arrived in Germany, have you had a chance to see anywhere else in the country? No, really? Not even Hollywood? Well, mate, I tell you what, I have some good news for you, mate. You're going to Hollywood. No, this is more permanent than that. We have made our first move, and it's a big one, and it's a bittersweet one. Bernhard Morlock has gone to the Dodgers. We brought him into baseball. I feel like, we made him in a way, but he is kind of standing in the way of Chevron Newton at this point. When he's been injured a lot, he is fragile. He's on almost $27 million dollars a year. He's a free agent at the end of this coming season. So we've sent him to the Dodgers, but we've got two players in return, and I think we've got two really good bullpen options here. First up is a lefty, Kevin Belcher. Movement and control could be better, but otherwise quite good. He's got good stamina, so he could, start a game if we needed him to. He's done okay. Whip of under 1 from his 55 innings. Whip of under 1. ERA of a 1.6 so far. That was just this season just gone. His first time up in the majors. So I think that's a good one, a left-hander in the bullpen, which we're desperately short of as well. And the other one that we got is Charles Jameson here, a potentially really good bullpen pitcher. Again, good stamina, so he could, in theory, step up to be a starter. He's got really good pitches as well. Controlling movement's a problem. The only issue I had with this guy is he gave up 3 home. He got a little bit of a taste of Major League Baseball at the end, sort of, I assume, for the expanded roster. 11.1 innings pitched, 3 home runs. Whip was a little high. ERA was very high. He gives up 2.5 home runs every 9 innings. So that doesn't really give me confidence. But we've got 2 pitchers. They're good options in the bullpen, if nothing else. So yeah, that's the first movement of the window. It gives us money, freed up some money to get some free agents in as well now, with Morlock moving on. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. Oh, there's no more Germans. I'm going to miss them. Odenthal, Morlock, you will be remembered. Hello? Oh, hello, mate. How you doing? Good. Now, listen, is this, you calling with good news? Excellent, mate, excellent. So you've signed the contract then? That's what I want to hear, mate. It's what I want to hear. So tell me, how much did we end up giving you? 31 million? Jesus, you saw us coming. Alright, mate. Well, anyway, it is good to have you back. So we have him back. Eloy Jimenez has signed again for the Mets from free agency, which is a good thing for us. He was relatively good for us last year. He's a power hitter. He's a good contact hitter as well. He can play a couple of positions in the outfield. I think my plan right now is to play him in right field, I think. And then Benintendi will come into left field. Then Suzuki, he's an upgrade on Suzuki, I think, all around. So, but we'll have good options then between Suzuki and also Reese Alberts in the outfield. So we've signed him. It's a lot of money. You can see it's a 7-year deal. But the last 2 years are opt-outs for us, which is fine. So essentially, he's signed right now a 5-year deal, which takes him to 34. And I think that's a good deal for us. I'll be honest. I really do. So let me know what you think in the comments. That's a massive chunk of our wages taken up now. We don't really have too much room to do too much else. I'm a little bit concerned at David Peterson on $10 million a year. We might see if we can do something there. Otherwise, you never know what's going to come up, do you? There'll always be trades to be had. Let's see what happens. So it's Rule 5 draft time. I've had a quick look through what's available this year. There's nothing particularly outstanding. The only player I've ever signed from this thing that was actually decent is Spencer Brickhouse when we got him a few seasons ago. But like I said, there's nothing here, nothing that's going to improve us. We'll have what's this guy? He's on the short list. I mean, he's decent. He's nothing special. We're not going to partake in that this year. So, yeah, I won't waste any more of your time. The Rule 5 draft, as usual, is a busted flush. Okay, it is the beginning of spring training, which means we come to the end of our winter fun here. But there is one more trade to announce, and that is we've got rid of Riley Gillum, basically because he's not well liked by his teammates, as you can see over here. He's not good enough to not be well liked by his teammates, so we sent him off to Pittsburgh. And we have got in return a very, very nice little bullpen option here that could potentially be a starter as well in Jared Southard. Very, very, as I said, very, very good. More than happy. We've definitely upgraded. We've got rid of someone who wasn't liked to someone who is very popular in the clubhouse, so we've won on that front as well. Last season, he didn't do great, let's be honest. 58 games, 3 starts, 70 innings pitched, a whip of 150, and an ERA of was at 433, so not great. But potentially, I think, well, he's better than the other guy because we weren't using him in any case, whereas this guy looks like a genuine option, and he's got Major League experience as well. So, all that being said, well, let's quickly go through and see what we have here. Now, let's start with the pitching staff. Obviously, there's bigger numbers here right now because of spring training. So we'll have a quick look at what we'll have a quick look at everybody in spring training to finalize things. But going into it, this is what I foresee our starting lineup being. The pitching staff is the same as last season: Hoffman, Espinoza, Syndergaard, Peterson, and Stefanovic. I think they're as good as anybody in Major League Baseball, especially if Syndergaard has a proper season, not the monstrosity he had last year. That's a really good starting five. So I have absolutely no qualms that is as strong as we could get. Peterson, there were some offers that came in, but no one. I mean, look, his ERA was under 3 last year. He's had a really good whip. He won 9 games, only lost 6. I think I'd rather not be paying him $10 million. That's the main thing, but if he's doing okay, so we're going to keep him. I mean, obviously there's still spring training, there can still be trades that happen, but I'm relatively happy with that. He's the only one that I would look to start. So I'd look to maybe get rid of. Maybe we could do better for $10 million. Stefanovic is only on 4.25. It's a number 5 option. He's fine. He's got a good variety of pitches, and he did really well last year as well. He had his best year for us, so there's no need. He's at 26. He's probably coming into his best, so there's no need to change him. I'm relatively happy with him there. Now, the bullpen is again, relatively similar to last year. Obviously, the main change is getting the lefty in here in Belcher. Now, he basically comes in to replace Jimenez. Now, Jimenez ended up going to Colorado for over $10 million a year. So, as much as I love Jimenez, I don't think he was worth $10 million a year. And, of course, the other guy that will give most likely a starting chance to is the other new guy we signed in Jameson. And then, of course, Eichhorn on the bench, as the long reliever. The guys that dropped out are Kalina, who was unlucky, and Jovan. We do have, of course, Cortillo, who's back from injury, who's a decent option for us as well. As Zach McKembley is a decent option we could look at some point. We'll see how everybody goes in spring training. There are other options there, and obviously the new guy we just signed, Southard, as well. And Kalina, did I mention Kalina? He's borderline whether he gets in or not again. Spring training will probably decide between Kalina and Jameson, I would imagine, because they're both righties, so we'll see how that plays out. But I think pitching, I wanted to strengthen the bullpen. I think we've done that. Nichols would be the one that I would consider getting rid of. The problem is that he's a leader in the clubhouse. If we go and have a quick look, because it's probably a good thing to do anyway, at team chemistry here, you can see that our captains, Espinoza and Mauricio, and our leaders, I don't know what the difference between a captain and a leader is, but anyway, leaders, we have Garcia, Nichols, Southard would be a leader, and Goodman, will come back to him in just a second, as leaders. So if you take the two that are Nichols and Garcia, that would definitely be in the squad. That's why Nichols would definitely be in the squad. And if we have a look at the other side of things, the hitting side of things, I think we've done enough to strengthen here. We've got the same 2 catchers. We've got Brickhouse and Keston here. Jarrett Goodman, we're having a look at him. He looks pretty good, doesn't he? So he might stay in. The problem we have, we bats left-handed as well, so we could potentially keep him in and move Brickhouse over or drop him back down. I think we can drop him down now. We picked him up in the Rule 5 draft, but we might be able to drop him down. Looking at that now, that might be something we want to do, actually, mightn't it? So we'll see how spring training goes. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm looking at this now, and I think Goodman might be the better option instead of Brickhouse. Mauricio and Griff McGear, we did offer him a new contract. He's here for another year at least. So that's good. He had his best year last year for us. He's actually getting better as he gets older. Newton and Miguel Soto are going to share the third base duties now with no Morlock, obviously. He can also play shortstop, Soto. We do have Jonathan Vaughan here. Just having a look at him. Good defensive player. He can pitch a little bit, but he wouldn't be in the team as a pitcher. It's the batting side of things I think lets him down. He'll probably be a backup option should somebody get injured or horribly lose form, but we'll have a look at him anyway. Now, the outfield options, we're looking at Reese Albert as a backup. But then we have Benintendi, who's back, and we can't underestimate him. He's a really, really good player. I think the plan is for him to play in left field. Legend to play in center field, although he can play anywhere in the outfield equally as good. And then we will have Eloy Jimenez, who we did get back in to play in right field. Even though he's not the best defensively there, his bat more than makes up for it. And it would mean, of course, Suzuki kind of drops out to the bench. He's not a particularly good fielder. He's a good hitter. But they'll all play, won't they? They will all play. But I just think Jimenez is maybe a better option than Suzuki, and a couple of other youngsters, Keston Howell, who we're having a look at for spring training, who I don't think, well, he's not going to stay, and neither is Alec Thomas. They'll both, they'll go back down to AAA, whether it's via waivers or just directly. So there we go. That is the team. I think we've strengthened just enough. We weren't that far off last year, let's be honest, and I think we've strengthened just enough this year. If we have good seasons from our good players as well, I think we can do it. I think this will be the final season of the Mets, unless something goes horribly wrong. And I think we're going to have a good one. So if you have enjoyed this, guys, do hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments, with the awards, of course, at the start of the episode as well. So until next time, when we get the season underway, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on opening day.